Welcome to Central Valley Today, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Alex Delgado.
And I'm Stephanie Bainham. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. We certainly appreciate it. And we're going to start with the much anticipated Fresno premiere of Disney's The Lion King. After 20 landmark years on Broadway, this classic continues as one of the most popular stage musicals in the entire world. And since its premiere in 1997, 25 global productions have been seen by more than 95 million people.
Its two-week engagement in Fresno starts tomorrow, and tickets, folks, are going fast. And we are lucky enough to have two of the performers, Gerald Ramsey, who plays Mufasa, and Martina Sykes, who plays Shenzi. What a joy it is to have you guys here. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're preparing to get started on stage for a two-week run here. I've got to tell you, Fresno is very excited about having The Lion King here. Wow, are you just as excited as we are?
Yes, this is the first time that The Lion King is in Fresno, so we're really excited to tell the story here.
Yes. And Gerald, a lot of folks have seen the Disney animated film, but tell us about how it portrays on stage. What's it like?
So it's going to be a very familiar story. There's going to be some added songs, but I think they delve deeper into the characters' stories, and I think the innovative way that they use the mask and the costumes, we're not walking around in like furry lion costumes, right? There's this beautiful way that they're telling the story that you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's going to be absolutely beautiful for anyone that hasn't seen it. You are in for such a treat. Martina, tell me a little bit more about your character, Shenzi.
Shenzi is the Whoopi Goldberg hyena. That's who made it iconic. And she is one of Scar's henchmen. And she's the boss. And we have so much fun. I have two of the greatest actors that I've ever met, Robbie Swift and Keith Bennett, who are Bonsai and Ed. And I get to play with them every day on stage, and it's so much fun to play a villain.
That is so neat. But then we have to talk about Mufasa. Gerald, tell us about Mufasa. Remind us who that is.
Mufasa is the real boss of The Lion King. I mean, that's a great thing about this show. So depending on which character you talk to, the story is about them. So for Shenzi, the story is about Shenzi. But the show is called The Lion King. So it's really about this. He's a king, but he's also a father, right? So he's all of this knowledge he's learned from his ancestors, he's passing it on to his son, and then his son hopefully passes it on to the next generation.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be a part of such a classic worldwide performance and musical that people not only loved it at the movie theaters, but now on stage? What did you have to do to get to this point where you are right now in playing Shenzi in The Lion King, the musical, Martina?
I think because the story is just a part of our childhood, it's such an incredible feeling to be a part of it because it's for all ages. But I think the hardest thing is it's not just about the singing and the dancing, but for us it's about the puppetry and making puppets come alive, because that's what people see. Like, they still see you, like they see more of Gerald than they see of me. But to make that puppet come alive and to do that character justice is what I really had to work hard on.
It's so much skill. So not only are you acting, singing, but then the puppetry. I had never thought of that before.
Yes.
Wow.
And people, they'll say things like, oh, I saw your puppet wink. And it's like the face is painted so it doesn't wink, but you could do something that gives the illusion that it did, and that's what makes it great.
And I imagine that because many times your face is covered, you really have to do a lot with your body to portray what you're trying to say, correct? Is that different than any other maybe part that you've played in? Because you've done so much in your career.
Yeah, I think this is such an incredible reminder. And Lion King is a lot of people's first live stage show, and you get a chance to see how much skill it takes to be on stage as not just singing but dancing, but also acting, and not just how much talent it takes to do that, but that people at home, you can do that. There's kids in the audience who may look and be like, but I'm from a Pacific island, like, if I can do it, you can do it too, right? There's people looking at Martina like, she looks like me, you can do this too, you know? So that's the for me, the most rewarding part of it all is hopefully inspiring more people to get involved with stage and theater.
Oh, that's beautiful. And you mentioned Pacific Islander. You're from Samoa.
Yeah.
And your voice is so good, which is exactly what I picture in Mufasa.
Well,
Is that something you use to your advantage?
Now I do, but when I was growing up, people confused me for my older sister all the time on the phone. So some family that hasn't seen me, they're seeing me now on stage as Mufasa, like, doesn't he sound like a little girl? Not anymore.
Wow, talk about getting people back, right?
Yeah. Thank you, puberty. Thank you, Hope.
I've got to ask it because I've always wondered. Many people that see it are going to see it for the first time here in Fresno, but you guys perform it every day on a daily basis. Does it ever get, I don't want to use the word monotonous, but how do you bring that excitement to the stage for your different viewers every single day? Because it's a job that you do every single day. And a lot of times you may not want to tap dance that day. You may not want to, maybe you're not feeling so good. How do you do that? How do you overcome that?
The audience, everybody reacts to things differently, especially regionally, and I think that's what's so beautiful about traveling the country, is because in Fresno you may get a joke that Boise didn't, and so you react differently, which gives us a newer energy. And to see people and the way that they react to this story, everybody gets something different from this story, and you see tears, and you see people like, you see little kids and they're like, you know,
scared.
when Mufasa dies, or when you know, you hear babies cry when the hyenas come out. So I think that's what keeps it fresh for us, because we're experiencing it through their eyes.
Wow, I'm so glad you brought up audience. So who is this for? Who would love to be in those seats? Everybody, young and old?
Everybody, young, old. And whether you love theater, whether you hate theater, you will still love The Lion King.
Yeah.
I believe that. I believe that. Drag your boyfriend and husband who doesn't think he's into plays, because he'll love it.
He'll love it.
Definitely so. And you have a chance, because they will be here for 2 weeks until December 9th. It is a 2-week run, but like I mentioned earlier, tickets are going very, very fast. You can get tickets obviously online and BroadwayInFresno.com. You can also get them at the Soroyan Theater.
Yes, beautiful space. So have you practiced on the stage yet there at the Soroyan?
Not yet.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow
bright and early.
morning. You do a whole run through, or just kind of
Run, and then we're straight into previews.
As far as stages, the bigger the better, or no?
It's our same stage.
It's the same size?
Same size stage. We travel with our stage.
But the house changes, how big the house small the house is, the sound, the acoustics, that all changes. Yeah.
Interesting.
So you have to go with the flow, really. So some people have seen this on Broadway, some people have seen it in London, some people have seen it in many different places. I was just curious, because we were talking about you guys can kind of swap out places or roles. Can you do that? If you wanted to perform in New York or Broadway or London, can you do that?
I think some people can. I know definitely if like, I know one of the Sarabis on Broadway, they went to San Diego last year and she wanted to perform at her hometown. So then they swapped.
Oh, fun.
And then they got to, you know, our Sarabi on the tour got to be Sarabi on Broadway, and she got to do it for her family and friends.
Cool.
That's interesting.
So neat. Well, we can't wait to see your characters come to life. Don't forget, everybody, The Lion King for the next 2 weeks right here in Fresno at the Williams Soroyan. We're so excited you spent time with us today.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Break a leg.
Yeah. And enjoy Fresno.
We will.
All right. Okay. Coming up, everyone, meet a young lady who's a shining example of good character. How she helps her teacher when she needs it the most. That's coming up next.